Hello, and welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged, where today I will be attempting to defend production's more weird judging decisions. This does not mean I agree with the decisions. In almost every case here, I fully disagree with it. I just wanted to see what it would be like to try and defend these controversial choices from the perspective of production. US Season 1's controversial decision was Rebecca winning the makeover. Now, I have two theories as to why they would give her the win here. Number one, they were judging off just who can do the best, generic drag makeover that isn't too outside of the box. In that category, I don't know if I'd fully give it to Rebecca, but I could see how someone would. My second theory is that they were judging based off drag names, and one of the judges' childhood pets was named Rebecca. I believe these two theories are equally plausible. For Season 2, we have a win that I didn't know was controversial until somewhat recently, but we have Tatiana's win in the Snatch Game. Tatiana played Britney Spears and Pandora Box played Cheryl Canning. They both did incredible jobs. Either one of them had a really solid case to win. However, production went with Tatiana, and I fully agree with this. However, there is a large group of people who stan Pandora and believe it should have gone to her. I am not going to say that one of them clearly won over the other. This was a very close competition, and it comes down to personal preference, but I believe this is one of the most debated choices of that season, so that is why it is that season's pick. For Season 3, we have Raja winning the Cake Design Challenge. This one easily could have gone to either Raja or Yara, with many people saying it should have gone to Yara. The only mistake Raja had was that she made the skirt slightly too short so that her undergarments showed, and they really popped since they were white and the outfit was brown. However, Raja did do an exceptional job here, and from production standpoint, I would see why they would overlook that to give her a win. It does not make the decision fair, but I don't think Yara blew this challenge out of the water to the point that it wasn't too ridiculous to give the win to Raja. For Season 4, we have the double save between the Queen Who Shall Not Be Named and Jeremy after the weird singing challenge they did. This was a terrible lip sync. Honestly, I'm just gonna say it could have been a double elimination. However, from a production standpoint, you really can't afford to lose either one of these queens. The fundamental story arc of this season has been the massive feud between the Queen Who Shall Not Be Named and Jeremy, so losing either one of them in 6th place results in a season that's just boring. If the climax of the big feud happens 3 or 4 episodes before the finale, its season is just gonna fall flat towards the end, so for that reason, I fully understand why they kept both queens. For Season 5, we have Roxy winning the Episode 1 Design Challenge over Lineasia. This one, I feel, is closer than a lot of people think. Lineasia, in my opinion, fully deserved this win. However, Roxy was a clear second place, and I feel, from a production standpoint, Roxy makes better TV, so that is probably why they wanted to boost her early on. I don't think that excuses them completely throwing Lineasia to the side. However, I believe that is why Roxy won the challenge over Lineasia. For Season 6, we have the Darian and Ben de la Creme double save. This lip sync was kind of a bloodbath. Darian kind of mopped the floor with Dela. Dela didn't do a bad job, it's just that Darian was just at a different level. In terms of double save, I believe both of them deserve to stay, both from my perspective and a production perspective, because of Dela's track record. At this point in the competition, Dela had the best track record going into this episode. She had 2 wins. Bianca had 1 win and a few highs. Courtney had 1 win and a few highs, and no one else was really succeeding in the competition. I don't think production was willing to lose Dayla at this point because their only options going forward would be Courtney, who they clearly didn't care about, Bianca, and Adore, who was not giving consistently good performances at that point. So losing Dayla would have been a really bad choice going forward because it creates a complete wildcard situation, which is not what reality TV production wants. For season 2, we have Kennedy winning the singing challenge. This was a really close challenge. I would not give it to Kennedy. I probably would give it to Jaden, then Katya, then probably Kennedy after her. However, I think Kennedy winning the challenge from a production standpoint does make a lot of sense. She has been doing okay in the competition. She has a bottom, but apart from that, she's been doing consistently fine, and I think production saw what she was capable of and decided to boost her now so that down the line they had more leeway with her placements. Additionally, I think production found Jaden to be completely disposable this season. That's absolutely ridiculous because she is so talented, but if you view her as disposable, giving her a win this early on is not really a good move. Love Jaden though, I really want her back on All Stars. For season 8, we have Layla McQueen being in the bottom for the design challenge. This was an interesting choice because any combination of Layla, Naomi, Naysha, and Robbie could have been in the bottom. I personally would go with Naysha and Robbie, but there were 4 honestly kind of weak competitors this challenge. I think Layla from the waist up was the strongest, which makes it honestly a really weird choice to put her in the bottom. However, from a production perspective, I think it makes sense to put Layla and Naysha in the bottom if you want to get rid of Naysha. Layla, going into the show, had the strongest reputation, in my opinion, of lip-syncing skills. I don't think anyone expected Naomi or Robbie to be a lip-sync assassin. Naomi is, Robbie is not. However, they wanted Naysha gone episode 1 to show a message, and I think putting Layla in the bottom and letting her steamroll Naysha is the best way to do that. Season 9, we will briefly be talking about Shay's Rusical win. This one fully comes down to runways. Alexis's runway was absolutely terrible. While Shay's runway isn't the greatest thing we've ever seen, it has a perspective, it has, anything interesting about it. Alexis is just a basic blue dress and a basic fur coat. Nothing about it is interesting or compelling at all. It's just clothing that she's wearing, and just based off that, I think Shay wins the challenge. That being said, I think a lot of people disagree with that, not just because of the runway decision, but because Nina should have been Black China. For season 10, we have Aquaria being saved for the makeover. This one, while incredibly controversial, I would say Aquaria is the best of these 3. Aquaria and her partner looked absolutely terrible. However, Cameron's makeover, it just doesn't have personality. It's just outfits that they're wearing to perform at a club. It doesn't give any resemblance at all. The outfits are different, the hair is different, the only thing keeping it together is the disco theme. And Monet, it's just not good. Her dress looked cheap. The shoes were completely different on both queens. The only things that were similar were the hair and glasses, which made it look like a work uniform. Like a very gay work uniform, but still just a work uniform that they wore to the club. And Aquaria has any form of perspective here, and I think for that reason she would be safe. However, I completely understand why someone would disagree. For season 11, we have Silky winning the Rusical. Silky winning the Rusical is a really weird choice from production because they know that giving a queen a win that is viewed as undeserved will hurt that queen's standing in the fanbase, and they clearly liked Silky, so I don't know why they wanted to do her dirty like that. I think you could make a very strong case for anyone out of Nina, Silky, Evie, Brooke, and Suga to win the challenge. They all killed it. Silky's runway is really good, and I guess it makes sense for her to have a win for a storyline. However, even from a production perspective, I don't really know who this helps. For Season 12, we have Jada's makeover win. This one, I think, can be explained very easily. Jada made these outfits, they look absolutely great, her makeup looks great, and there's a clear family resemblance. With Crystal, while the outfits are great and they have a clear family resemblance, it just goes off so far in a different direction that you could make a really strong case for anyone here. The looks are so different in concept that you can make an argument both ways and still be 100% correct. It just comes down to what your perspective on drag is. For Season 13, we have the Candy and Simone double save. First up, Simone and Candy both did great in this lip sync. If I had to pick just one, it would be Simone. However, Candy by no means did a bad job. For why Candy stayed and no one was eliminated, I think it's just a storyline perspective. I think production thought people were going to love Candy so much, and it would be this big dramatic, yay, Candy was saved moment with the fan base, but that didn't really pan out for them. The last time they did this on Season 6 was with Dayla, who is a huge fan favorite, so there wasn't too much backlash. However, Candy not being a fan favorite makes this decision not make sense. If Candy were a fan favorite, I think people would agree with it a bit more. For Season 14, we have Georges winning the design challenge, and this is one that comes down 100% to runway presentation. I do not believe that runway presentation should let you win a challenge based on runways. However, Georges 100% did have the best runway presentation on there by a long shot. That should not have given her the win, it should have been Camden. However, if you are production and you see this goldmine lip sync assassin and you want to boost their track record, judging based off runway presentation isn't the most ridiculous decision. Season 15, we have Aura Mayari winning the girl groups. Aura slayed this challenge, it's just that Sasha slayed to a further degree, and I think Sasha was the best in the challenge and on the runway. However, Aura was second place that week. For the reasoning why Sasha did not win and Aura did, I think the only reason is that giving Sasha too many wins early on, it just doesn't make the season entertaining. There has to be that certain level of mystery maintained about how people are gonna do, even if everyone knows deep down, Sasha's taking this. I think with all of that considered, and production not wanting to make it look like they were favoring Sasha, giving Aura the win isn't the most ridiculous decision. I certainly don't agree with it, but it's not like as crazy as Georges' design challenge, which I see compared to this a lot. I don't think that's fair. Moving on to All-Stars 1, we have Team Shad winning the Girl Groups challenge. I think that Alexis and Yara were the best here and probably should have won. However, Team Shad was right behind them and they really wanted Shad to win this season, so giving her the win there, it makes sense. Season 2, we have Tatiana being in the bottom for the advertising challenge. Tatiana was third best this week, Alyssa was fourth, Detox was fifth, Roxy was sixth. However, we ended up with a bottom of Tatiana and Roxy. I think that production's argument here is that they wanted Relaskatox in the finale with one other, and that other could be Alyssa, Katya, or Tatiana. Tatiana is clearly the odd one out here. She has the least fan favorite status of them, and I think this was just a clean way to get rid of Tatiana without ruffling too many feathers, especially considering how well she would do at the two remaining challenges, the Rumix and the Makeover. For All-Stars 3, we have BB winning the ball. This one makes sense of the storyline that BB is a former winner and she needs to win a challenge or two. I don't think she should have won this challenge. I'm glad she did based off the lip sync we got. However, I think it should have gone to Aja. Aja being in the bottom is absolutely ridiculous. However, production really needed to throw BB a bone here to preserve her reputation. There wasn't really any guarantee that BB was going to win the remaining challenges, so for those reasons, I would say BB winning here makes sense, even if you disagree with it, like I do. For All Stars 4, we have Monet winning the season and being in the top 2 over Mohart. Both of them were fan favorites from Season 10 that absolutely glowed up and slayed the season. However, production went with Monet for a variety of reasons. Monet had done slightly worse in the competition, and I think at the time of the finale, production wanted to crown Trinity alone, so putting Monet in the top 2 with her gives them the best shot for that in terms of track record. However, for the final runway and the Rumix, I think Monet was definitely above Mo, and for those reasons she made it into the top 2, and for how hard she slayed that finale, she won the season with Trinity. All Stars 5, we have Shea winning the Snatch Game. This one can be attributed to a few things. Alexis could not win because if she got a win, she was probably making it to the end and probably winning, and I don't think that is what production had in mind for this season. For Jujubee, once again, giving her another win just gives her too much of an argument to win the season, especially if Shea is likely going to be ending up in the bottom 4 times if she does not win this challenge. For all of those reasons, and the fact that Shea slayed, Shea gets the win here. For All Stars 6, we have Kylie winning the acting challenge, and I think this one can pretty easily be explained. Production wanted Kylie at the end. Probably they wanted her to win anyway. However, Snatch Game is a huge roadblock to get over for her, considering her previous Snatch Game. I don't think they ever could have predicted she would do as well as she did, so giving her this win gives her a bit more plot armor to survive Snatch Game if she has a bad performance. I personally would give this win to Ginger, if not Ginger Pandora. However, Kylie did do a good job, and I understand wanting to give your pick to win a bit of plot armor. For All Star 7, we have Trinity winning the Snatch Game. Now, it is very clear that Jinx was number 1 and Monet was number 4, so Raja and Trinity were going to be fighting it out for that final slot. Between the two, Raja's Madam was by far the best performance out of the 4 Snatch Games the two of them did. However, Raja's Diana Vreeland is 4th, so that might even out. However, I think production gave Trinity the win here just to have blocking have a purpose. Production had just introduced this massive twist and made a big deal about it, so if they go through this whole season and no one gets blocked, it'll have been for nothing, so I think for that reason, Trinity got the win here. Finally, we have Jimbo winning the Advertising SNL Challenge. I don't really know how to describe it. I think Heidi, James, and Jimbo all had great cases to win here. Jimbo's runway was just out of this world. It is the best thing she wore on that season. One of the best things we've seen on All Stars in a while. And I think for that reason, and the fact that she was a solid second in the challenge behind Heidi, Jimbo deserved to win this challenge. You can make a very strong case for Heidi winning this challenge, and I would probably agree with a lot of it. They wanted to crown Jimbo. Heidi is huge competition, and giving her a win this early on doesn't really bode well for Jimbo. So if you are trying to crown Jimbo, giving her the win here is by far the best move. Hey, it's Drag Race Rejudged. Do you want gay shit? Well then check out the RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged YouTube channel and hit subscribe.